I'm experimenting with the Glade wax melter again, and I thought it'd be quite interesting to melt down some of these sort of random bits of wax and tea lights. I'd been stealing the wicks out of these tea lights, so I decided I had some of these left and I'd stick them in and melt them. So this is the standard electric wax melter that's designed to release the aroma from waxes. So I've melted those candles down. I added a little bit of a red candle because that was the only strong colour I had, just to give it a wee tint. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try and create my own wax melts using one of the original wax melt holders. This is a general sort of dollar store type wax melt thing, which smelt of minging vanilla, really quite an unpleasant vanilla smell. So good to repurpose it now. I was thinking, I think they pour the wax into these plastic vac form moulds, and they're high enough temperature rated they can actually hold the temperature, and that's what is used as the final mould for the wax. You know, it's literally sold in the thing it was moulded in. So what I'm going to do is, I've got the wax here, I've got some fragrant oil, and these are natural oils. You have to use oil in it. You can't use water-based aromas like food colourings or food flavourings, should I say. Food colourings either. If you want colour, it's going to have to be an oil-based colour to dissolve in the wax. However, I've got lemongrass oil here, natural lemongrass oil, and I'm going to put quite a few drops of that in here. Quite a lot, because bear in mind this is going to be broken into little bits of wax that will then provide the fragrance when they're used on their own. And I'm also going to put in some peppermint, not too much peppermint, just to give a wee bit of extra freshness and zing to that. And initially the oils will sink, and sometimes they'll make the wax harden around them briefly until they've warmed up. But now I'm just mixing them in to the wax until they sort of disappear. You'll see sort of little optical sort of stringy effects just as the two materials combine. And once they've combined, I'm going to pour it into this mould. And this could get very messy. Let's see if I can pour it all over my workbench. So here's the mould, and I'm just going to try and pour this wax. This is just a wooden coffee stirrer, by the way. I just thought it was quite good for doing this. So I'm just going to pour that in there, and it's obvious that I just didn't have enough wax, but not to worry. It's a good start. I think I've more or less filled up all the compartments. And yes, I have actually. I've covered them all. So I'm going to let that cool now, and we'll see what it looks like afterwards and how well it works. So that's cooled now, and call me impatient, because I am impatient. Maybe I'm just being a bit premature here. The stuff is that the wax has formed this quite sheen with a sort of pattern, like a sort of fern effect on top. It's quite nice. But it seems to be solid now, and I'm just going to see if this presses out intact. It may separate into its little petals. Yep, it has. So that is the wax melts. So I've got some standard white wax in here, just ordinary candle wax, and I'm just going to put this in to that, and we'll see how well it diffuses into that and see how much of a smell comes off it. So we'll give that a wee while to soak in, and I'll be back shortly. So that has melted down nicely and is releasing a strong aroma of lemongrass and peppermint. It's quite nice actually. So that shows you can use this to melt the wax, ordinary candle wax, and then add suitable fragrance oils, and then pour it into the moulds that a lot of the candles, the wax melts, are actually supplied in already. So these would also make quite interesting moulds. So that's quite enjoyable actually.